Well, one man is dead and 5 others are injured after a gunman started shooting in a crowd. The crowd was there for a repast after a funeral in New Orleans East. The shooting happened near the intersection of Forstall and Burgundy Streets in the Holy Cross neighborhood just before 8 o'clock last night. NOPD detectives say 5 men and 1 woman were shot. One of the men who was shot died there at the scene, and the others were then rushed to the hospital. We don't have any word on their conditions this morning, and investigators say that they do have 1 person in for questioning. And police are also investigating another deadly shooting in the area, this one on the West Bank. It happened earlier last night in the 3300 block of General Meyer Avenue in Algiers. Investigators tell us that 1 victim died. Police have not released any other details in that shooting. If you know something that could help investigators in either of these fatal shootings, please call Crime Stoppers at 822-1111. Now another man is dead after a standoff with deputies after a domestic argument. The Terrebonne Parish Sheriff's Office said they got a call about a domestic dispute on Fandle Street in Gibson. When they got there, they found out that the suspect was armed and then he locked himself in the house. At some point during that standoff, deputies shot the suspect and he died there at the scene. No deputies were injured in this standoff. And some students will get a 3-day weekend after an electrical fire at their school. Jefferson Parish public school officials say that Catherine Still Elementary School in Avondale will be closed tomorrow due to a fire in the main electrical panel at the school. They say the situation is being evaluated and the district will announce that they have to close the school for any longer time. Now, kids playing paintball in an indoor course were hurt when a stairwell collapsed when they were on it. Police in California say that about 20 kids had minor injuries because of it. Now, they did have to dig 1 woman out from underneath that collapsed staircase. One parent said that the stairwell collapsed when the kids were running up and down it to get pizza from a loft.
On the foundation
Republican candidate for Senate in Alabama, Judge Roy Moore, is denying allegations of sexual misconduct and claims that they were politically motivated. 4 women told the Washington Post this week that the retired judge pursued them when they were teenagers and he was in his 30s. All 4 confirmed their stories with CBS News, and Moore admits that he dated a lot of young ladies but denied meeting one of the women. One of the women told the Washington Post that Moore touched her inappropriately when she was 14 years old. And take a look at this viral video. 2 women are seen getting out of a McDonald's the same way that I got in, through the drive-through window. Now, according to a police report, the 2 women were upset about not getting their chicken nuggets, which managers told them they never ordered nor paid for in the first place. The report says that the women pounded on the window, climbed inside, then assaulted the store manager. The 2 women have not been caught. And ever since the August flooding, our investigators have been trying to figure out why the city flooded from just a thunderstorm. We've put together an hour special called Down the Drain, and we're going to be showing you what our team found out. It's a special you will not want to miss, and we have a preview of it coming up. Welcome back. The 11th annual Oak Street Po' Boy Fest will be kicking off in just a couple of hours. The rescheduled event opens this morning at 10 a.m. and goes all the way until 7 o'clock tonight. Admission is free, but you will need to buy a $5 wristband to purchase any po' boy or food items. And another quick reminder about the road closures for the event. From 8:30 this morning until 10 tonight, Oak Street will be closed from South Carrollton Avenue to Bleak Avenue. So the big question is, Chris.
What?
Are they going to be getting nice weather for
Well,
Po' Boy
it'll be relatively quiet. We'll have a few passing showers at times. Hopefully they'll all avoid Oak Street. We won't have any issues.
Maybe they can just
Oak from Leek to
Carrollton,
it'll be all right.
No clouds, hopefully.
Well, clouds they're going to have. That's
rainy clouds.
Oh,
rainy
clouds.
Clouds go
maybe
around
they'll stay away from Oak Street and they'll be fine. But
crossing the fingers.
Hey, it's better than when we were dealing with the possible effects of Nate when they originally scheduled. So there's that.
Cheers.
So
cheers. It is better than.
It's hard to schedule an event and have it totally dry.
Especially in this state.
It is. It just is. Let's say.
Welcome back. While the floodwaters from Hurricanes Harvey and Irma are long gone, they left behind more than 600,000 damaged cars, trucks, and SUVs. And what's more, these vehicles could end up in the hands of scammers who will then wash the title and sell them. Matt Schmitz of Cars.com provides tips on how to spot and avoid buying a flood-damaged car in this week's segment of Driving Smart. Welcome back to the Sunday morning edition of the Eyewitness Morning News. I'm Katie Steiner here with meteorologist Chris Franklin, and we are waking up to a little cloudy day.
Not as pretty.
unfortunately,
little more
but
humid.
a slight chance for rain, right?
Yes, we have already had a few showers around, and a few more showers are possible through the day. Only around a 30% chance throughout the midday and afternoon hours.
Right, Chris. Well, one man is dead and 5 others are recovering from their injuries this morning after a gunman opened fire on a crowd. The victims were part of a repass after a funeral earlier in the night in New Orleans East. The shooting happened near the intersection of Forstall and Burgundy Streets in the Holy Cross neighborhood just before 8 o'clock last night. NOPD detectives say that 5 men and 1 woman were shot, and one of the men who was shot died there at the scene. The others were immediately rushed to the hospital. Now, we don't have any word on their conditions this morning, and investigators say that they have detained 1 person for questioning. And President Trump continues his overseas trip in Asia. Before heading to Vietnam, the president suggested that he believes Russian President Vladimir Putin when he says that Russia did not meddle in the U.S. election, but he also believes the U.S. intelligence agencies. Stephen Portnoy is traveling with the president in Vietnam. President Trump tweeted that China is upping its sanctions against North Korea. Now happening today, a meeting of former governors will take place at the governor's mansion. Governor John Bel Edwards and his wife are hosting 4 of the former governors, Edwin Edwards, Buddy Roemer, Kathleen Blanco, and Bobby Jindal today for Memories at the Mansion. The reception is part of the First Lady Donna Edwards' relaunch of the Governor's Mansion Preservation Foundation. And children and adults celebrated their love of reading at the annual New Orleans Book Festival. That looks like a ball. The festival was all about books, but there was some music too, as you heard. The Louisiana Philharmonic Orchestra performed at the fest, and the Mardi Gras Indians performed in one of the tents, and at another, kids got to meet some of the famous book characters like Dr. Seuss's Cat in the Hat and Curious George. It's a celebration of books and for readers of all ages. And after the orchestra performed, there was a fireworks show to kick off the city's tricentennial celebration. And it's your last day to catch the Bayou Road Balloon Festival in Chalmette, featuring more than a dozen hot air balloons. You can find hot air balloon rides, carnival rides, and delicious New Orleans-style food in the Sidney D. Torres Memorial Park in St. Bernard Parish. Folks can also take a tethered ride in the hot air balloons. They'll take you up 50 feet so you can hover for a while and check out the festival from high above the clouds. And some of the newer smartphones are getting thinner and more delicate. We'll have tips on the best way to keep your new gadget free from cracks, screens, and dents. And we're headed into the kitchen this morning. We're going to be cooking up some tacos with a wild twist. Glass backs on your phones mean that you have to be even more careful with your phone. CNET.com's Vanessa Hand-Oriana has more. This morning, Chef Noah Weinberg joins us in the kitchen along with Liz Williams from the Southern Food and Beverage Museum. And Chef Noah is going to show us how to prepare side dishes for a pork cook-off coming up in St. Bernard Parish called the Cook-Off for the Coast. So Chef Noah, thank you so much for joining us. So tell us what we're going to make this morning. This is very hands-on. I'm really excited about this grinding situation.
Yeah, I don't trust you with it.
You shouldn't.
I'll take that one.
So what we're going to be preparing is wild boar chorizo.
Okay.
Chorizo is a spicy sausage that's great great with the wild boar, which has strong flavors.
Yeah. So how are we going to start here? Do we start with the pork?
So we have some cubed up pork right here. We have all our spices laid out. We have salt, sugar, garlic, ground coriander, some cinnamon, oregano, and a mix of different chilies and a little bit of white vinegar.
So what do we do with it?
So we'll mix them all together.
Can we help put them in?
Yeah, go ahead, toss them all in.
Sweet. Chris, are you going to help or just going to let me
No, I'm
do
just
it?
going to watch.
Okay, sounds good. So we got the sugar.
Sugar, oregano.
What's onions?
Garlic.
Oh, garlic.
Not even close.
Better. It's incredibly close. What are you talking about?
So we got it all in there. There's some tongs over there.
Okay.
If I could get those, kind of give that a shimmy.
Yes, I
toss
love
it
shimming
all-
and cooking.
Do you?
Yes.
Toss it all together.
Okay.
I'm going to try to incorporate it, get it coated pretty well around each cube.
Okay.
And then the best part. We get to load it right. If you
Do
want
we
you
have
guys.
to use the tongs or can we?
No, you can
or
definitely
fingers?
just get it
Okay,
right
great.
in there. If one of you guys want to.
Grab raw pork. Good idea.
Do you want to do the
You wanna-
cranking?
you wanna
or
crank
not?
it? I kinda
Do you want me
do.
to stick my finger in there for you?
I kind of do.
Okay, great.
I want that too.
Okay, perfect. Well,
All right, so put the cubes in.
Start cranking.
yeah, you got to
All right,
crank.
start
You got to
cranking.
do the work.
There you go.
I'm going to hit
There
you.
you
I'm
go.
going to hit you.
That's okay. That's okay. Okay, it's not.
Am I
you're not
doing it the right way?
I think
Yeah,
I'm-
there you
I
go.
think I'm
There it goes. There it goes.
There it
Come on,
goes.
Chris, work harder.
And you probably want to put a little bit more in there
Oh,
so that
okay,
it
I
keeps
gotta work
coming.
hard.
Yeah, how about you work hard?
Hold on just a second. Let me
Oh,
just.
are we doing it?
There
Oh,
you
he's
go.
putting
There
his
you go.
fingers in. This is great. I love this.
Go ahead.
I'll
Oh gosh,
keep
don't
it.
kill him.
I'm
There you
not.
go.
Okay, I don't trust you.
It's
There it comes. It's coming.
It's coming. Here we go.
Keep working,
Here.
Chris. Come on.
Here we
Come
go.
on, you can do it. Keep going.
Here we go. It's,
Faster,
I got one little piece.
Keep going.
Well, it's going to take us forever to make anything, isn't
No,
it?
no joke. I see why they do this in the store. This takes forever.
All right. Okay.
Do we have a mechanized version
So
of this?
there is a
Hit a
mechanized
button.
option.
I'll do is hit a button. That's a lot easier.
So Chris, we got this little bit from
Ta-da!
That little bit.
So that's from Chris.
So after another hour and a half lapse, we get that.
So-
yeah.
How
so-
long does it take you to do that? Because you're a pro. We are not. You're sweating.
It's okay. So am I. It takes just a couple minutes, and
Didn't take you a couple minutes.
No, it did not.
you can use a food processor using just do small little batches
That's
and pulse
better
it together.
That's better.
And what you do after you grind it all together is let it rest for an hour or two, maybe even overnight's fine. You just want all the flavors to come together. Once it's all,
Chris is distracted.
I'm determined to get more than you.
I'm not going to, so just leave it. you silly
determined.
goose.
so then you can mix it with whatever you'd like to mix it with, eggs, those kind of things.
Yeah.
All you want to do is just kind of brown it up, put it into a pan.
Now, what kind of oil do you have down there?
Just some vegetable oil,
Okay.
nothing fancy.
Okay.
And you just want it to brown up. And we prepared a little bit ahead of time, browned up
The
some
magic of television.
through the magic of television.
And so that's what it looks like. Wow, really smells
Yeah,
delicious. I know.
it renders down, gets really flavorful. All the spices get really, smells good.
Yeah.
And so
Now what?
we're gonna make is some tacos, some very basic
The
tacos.
best thing ever. Yum.
And if you don't mind, would you do it? Because I have a little bit
You
of.
got it, Liz.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're also going to have to feed me because my hands are dirty.
Well, since mine are clean, I'll be late. How convenient.
And so we have is a corn tortilla that I just lightly fried.
Okay.
And on top of it, we have onions, cilantro, and a couple radishes.
So,
Wow,
yeah.
I've never heard of radishes in tacos.
Well, it's refreshing and nice to cut with the very spiciness of.
And they're sliced so thin. I like that.
You julienne them with like the fancy little mandolin.
Yeah, he's so fancy.
Yeah, he's.
I do
There
have
you
a
go.
mandolin at my house though, Chris.
Do you?
got it. Yeah, I love it. Like wedding gift.
Well, if I have to.
You have a sacrificial lamb. Let's see how it goes. Yum, no pressure. Oh, he dropped the cilantro. Unbelievable.
That's delicious.
Is it good? Oh, that's awesome.
You want one? I can feed it to you.
I do have one hand, but that's okay.
All right.
Thank you so much, Liz. So tell us a little bit about your cook-off event that you guys are going to have.
So it is November 18th,
Okay.
as you mentioned, and we're going to be utilizing wild boar and cook it in various different directions to show that it is a good
Usable thing?
usable protein that is kind of an infestation, and if we can turn it into a reasonable protein that is easily consumable, we can potentially stop the problem.
That's awesome. And that's kind of, I mean, like you see it in Detroit, you know, they don't know what to do with all this crawfish, and here we're like, we
Yeah.
eat it.
Yeah,
So
eat
same
it.
thing with wild boar.
Same
Okay.
thing.
So I'm going to try this. If I can do this one-handed, I'm going to be a very, very happy person. And I'm not going to drop a cilantro on the floor.
Let's see.
We'll have to watch that.
It was a radish, by the way, that I dropped, not a cilantro. No, I got to give it to you. You didn't drop anything. Good? Mm-hmm. Keep talking.
So now he can't talk. That's a problem.
The cook-off for the Coast event is Saturday, November 18th at Dockville Farm in Violet. In addition to the amateur cooking teams competing in a wild boar cooking competition, there will be music, a silent auction, and even giant broadcast screen. So you will not miss the LSU-Tennessee game. Tickets are that's $8, really?
For this?
Wow.
I think I would pay $8 for just this
Yeah,
taco.
exactly. And the kids are free. Proceeds benefit the St. Bernard Wetlands Foundation. You can get more information on the website on your screen, as well as information on our website, www.ltv.com.
And thank you guys so much for joining us. We will be right back after the break. But we're going to eat. The reflection staring back at shoppers in the dressing room mirror can often leave them scratching their heads. Nikki Batiste takes a look at some tricks that retailers use to manipulate what consumers see when they try on clothes. I don't know if I would notice a difference.
I don't think I would. I mean, shadows, okay, lighting.
Yeah, I'm not going to
I
take a selfie. So
I
like, I don't care.
understand, but I mean, I don't know. Sometimes you're
packing on a couple more when you put clothes back on at
Yeah.
home and it doesn't fit the same. I don't know.
My weight fluctuates anyway. I
Yeah,
don't think
so
a
does
mirror
mine.
is
I
gonna
don't
do
really
that.
think the mirror has anything to do with it. Cameras add what, 10 pounds they say?
Yeah,
I'm
yep.
actually a twig in person.
Same. I had one woman come up to me one time and she was like, gosh, that TV just makes you look fat. You're so much skinnier in person.
Sweet,
I was like,
sweet,
I don't know
aren't
how to
they?
take that. Like, thank you.
Thanks, maybe. So I'm some kind of beast on television? Is that what you're trying to say?
Oh, geez. Well,
That's exactly what she was trying to say.
Thanks, Chris. It makes me feel a lot better about myself. But tell us a little bit about the weather today. What can we expect?
Mostly cloudy skies with a few passing showers during the day, highs in the lower 70s.
So do I need my rain boots or not if I'm going to
Not
Pub Boy
rain
Fest?
boots, no. A rain jacket or an umbrella wouldn't be a bad idea
Just
today.
to sling over the shoulder.
Exactly.
Okay, perfect.
Kind of
Well,
a fashion statement
that sounds like a great idea. With your mirror,
with a mirror.
that hopefully
that's tilted
isn't
a little
lying
bit.
to you.
It's an honest mirror.
Exactly. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. We will be back here at 5:30 and 10 o'clock. Until then, have a fantastic day.